All right, well, here we are at KILMER 2025 here in Orlando, Florida, in the United States of America. I am Gerald McDonald. I am the conference chair, and I also have the great pleasure of being the Vice President of Microbiological Quality and Sterility Assurance for Johnson & Johnson.
Jerry, thank you so much. My name is Alvin Smith. I am the project manager for the Mars Sample Return Sample Receiving Project at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. And we're just so delighted to be here to share some of the wonderful things that we're doing within NASA and certainly within the Sample Receiving Project, and as it relates to the wonderful things and the challenges that you all are talking about at this great conference.
Many of you might be a little bit confused about what contamination controls, sterilization, and medical products would have anything got to do with NASA. So why don't you tell them maybe a little bit about why NASA is interested in this area and what you do?
Sure, absolutely. So, one of the things that I think would really be appealing to the audience is to understand that many of the challenges that you all are discussing here at the conference, and as it relates to contamination control and sterility, microbial bioburden, these types of things are exactly the same challenges and things that we face every day as we plan missions to planetary bodies and as we even explore the opportunities to bring samples back from these target bodies as well. And one specific discipline that really comes to mind first off is planetary protection. And planetary protection is really how we protect the target bodies or the outer planets as we do that exploration, and really how we really clean and sterilize the rovers or the any of the orbiters or things that are really going. And those microbioburden levels and things are set. And these standards are set by NASA. They're set by also COSPAR, which is the Committee on Space Research. And they really help us define where those levels really need to be. And with that, as we go forward, that's called forward planetary protection. Backward planetary protection is really what I focus on because as we are bringing and planning to bring samples back from Mars, and we've recently had some great successes in bringing samples back from the asteroid Bennu with OSIRIS-REx, and we've really deep-rooted sample return from Apollo missions, right? All of this goes back to how do we effectively bring samples back and make sure that we can hold on to these samples, not just to do the science right now, but how do we prepare for generations to come, right? We want to make sure that we're not contaminating the target bodies or contaminating the samples when we bring them back. And we've learned so much over the years just through Apollo and all of these sample return missions, and really the partnership that we've had with Amy and also with yourself and others in this industry has really been valuable to helping us understand and really make that connection between the discipline and the work that we do at NASA and also the things that you do as well. So we're excited that within the next decade or so, we'll be able to hopefully return samples. Right now, we have the Perseverance rover that is on the surface of Mars right now collecting samples to potentially bring those back in the next decade or so. And with that, we're preparing and doing the planning so that when those samples return, we have laboratories that are in place to provide the necessary containment and also cleanliness necessary to understand the true value and the science that's within those samples, right? And so we want to make sure that if we're really taking the time to go and plan and do all this hard work, that on the back end, we want to make sure that we realize the true value of these samples with the work that we're doing on the ground with the sample receiving project. And I'm really just excited to be at the helm and really leading this project through design of a facility that'll be hopefully within the next few years or so. We'll start the design process and take that through all the way. And then once the samples return, we'll have a nice home, brand new home for these samples to live so we can start doing the effective science necessary. So yeah, really excited. And thank you so much for the invitation to be here as well.
Oh, it's a great pleasure. it turns out that I think we actually have an awful lot in common, actually, because if you look at it, and one thing we talked about today during the conference was that we have a very precious product, right? In your case, it's coming from Mars. In our case, it's going from a manufacturing facility, be it a pharmaceutical product or a medical device, into a patient. And we not only need to make sure that it's safe and contained and handled correctly, but we also need to make sure that it doesn't have anything in it that could be harmful. So I've had a great opportunity to work with a group of scientists from all different disciplines, including many colleagues from NASA, to learn more about how they are feeling about that area, how they are detecting what life could look like, and how maybe potentially we could apply that same thought process, be it risk management as well as microbial detection, into the next generation of medical products.
That's actually great, Jerry. And you know, I believe this risk-based assessment will really be, I believe, a foundation with how we think about these samples as well. And that's a key tenet to the planetary protection discipline, where again, with applying these types of analyses and thinking about, we were even talking about Bayesian statistics and modeling as well. This is going to be critical in really allowing us to interrogate these samples in a way that's going to be helpful in allowing us understand any potential, putative agents or what have you that may harbored in these samples. But again, the probability for extant or living life with these samples that are coming back from Jezero Crater are extremely low, but it's a non-zero chance, and we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. So we really appreciate your help and helping us kind of tease apart all of this, and really we'll continue to look forward to the collaboration going forward and how we continue to chart a path that's going to allow us to really do the very best once these samples come back to ensure that we do our jobs with not contaminating the samples and also doing our due job to make sure that we're protecting our Earth's biosphere as well. So really appreciate your time and efforts on that.
It's been a great pleasure, and thank you for allowing us to be part of it and to explore this mission with you. Also, it goes without saying that we're just so delighted that you've taken time out of your busy schedule, Alvin, to be with us today and to share some of the magic of what you work on. And we wish you all the best in the future of the mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right.